And I remember just crying one day. The children were gone with him, and I was screaming in this. I mean, screaming to the top of my lungs. If I could take my heart out my chest, I would have. Like,
Yeah.
and I just said, you know what? If I have to do this every single day until I figure out who I am.
Some seasons aren't meant to be understood while you're in them. They're meant to change you before they even make sense. Welcome back to Deep Roots Wellness Podcast. Today, we're talking about the space in between. The season where life pulls you inward and you don't fully know who you're becoming yet. Instead of rushing out of it, what if that place is actually where the real work happens? Rashidah Young is back, and we are talking about the cosmic wound, that dark, forming space where healing and identity are shaped before we re-enter the world. Let's get started. Rashidah, welcome back, my friend. I'm so excited that you joined me again.
I am excited too. I was so grateful when we decided to come back for round 2.
Since we spoke last, what has shifted or deepened in your own inner work lately?
Oh, meeting myself on a level of authenticity that I didn't even know what it looked like. I didn't know that I could show up for me even more. And it's been an amazing journey inward, journey inward, and seeing where I am now. And even since our last meeting is breathtaking. I'm speechless at times, like, really?
Yeah.
But it feels so good. It feels so good.
Isn't it interesting that, like, as we continue to do the inner work, more things come up, and we, thought maybe we healed or resolved, or, whatever, however we want to say, right? Certain parts of us, but it comes up, or we find like an insecurity or things like that. It's just a continuous journey, but it's so beautiful.
It is. And when you know that you're going inward, you think I'm here, like I'm at the center now. It doesn't get any deeper.
Yeah.
Yet it gets deeper and
So
deeper.
Much deeper.
But the deeper you go inward, it's almost like the brighter the light on the outside, and it's worth it. It's worth the experience.
Yes.
And like all I can say is it feels really good.
Absolutely. So you are starting every Sunday, right?
Yes. I started, so you know my story. I was a Christian girl, grew up in the church, in Christian school, and I ended up pastoring as an adult. And when I started that whole spiritual awakening journey and deconstructing religion and all of those things, I said I would never do anything where I have to get up every Sunday morning and show up for anybody. And I was adamant about that, never.
Yeah.
And as I'm deepening, my spirit is like, and so I tuned it out. I honestly, and I tell people this all the time, I'm transparent. So I can be I can be stubborn.
Yeah.
And, but I have mentors in my life. I have coaches. And so I'm talking with one of my coaches, and, I said, yeah, we were just talking about something. I said, yeah, I said I would never do such and such. She said, yeah, that's what you're being called to do. That's why you're saying that.
It's like, ooh.
And I thought, dang, I wish I could have, if I could have backtracked those words about 30 seconds.
That can't be.
And I knew at that moment that I was being called. And there's so many other souls that are in that space of they're coming out of that program, and they need to be guided. And if I don't answer the call, who will? And
that's
so
right.
It's like, I know that's what my purpose is. I know that's what I'm supposed to do. And the more I run, the more I'm not serving the other versions of myself that need me.
That's right.
And so I said, okay.
So it's every Sunday on YouTube, right?
Yes. So I had YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay.
I think this week we're going to add TikTok. That's a technology thing. So I'm learning technology.
Yes.
But the goal is to stream on all those 4 platforms, because that's just where I show up. And we'll be at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning.
10 a.m. Central, right?
Eastern.
Okay,
Eastern.
yes. 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
So I watched Sunday's episode, and my friend, and I know, like, I texted you, and I said it was powerful. And it was about the cosmic wound. Tell us about that.
The cosmic womb is the dark space.
Yeah.
And, some people refer to it as 0 point. Um, and I took that into the version of our story where we hit our darkest point.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes that's where we feel like we're defeated. We feel like we've lost it all. We feel like we're out of control. We don't know what's next. We don't know what to do. And that can be heavy. So oftentimes we try to avoid that space.
Mm-hmm.
But in the cosmic womb is where we face our infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
And so I gave a narrative of how to shift the perspective while in the dark space,
Mm-hmm.
to where not only do you avoid it, but now you create a pattern of getting into a dark space every morning,
Mm.
meditating, finding where you can get the ego out of it, your old storylines out of it, what you did yesterday, who you're supposed to show up as. Get all that out the way in the dark space so you can wake up every day and rise to an infinite possibility, a new beginning each day.
Yes.
And that's how we shift our lives, our identities into living our desired reality.
So, what would you say would be the biggest obstacle for people in getting to that dark space? I mean, would it be fear or just
Mm.
being super, super uncomfortable with it?
Fear is one of the biggest factors,
Mm-hmm.
because it takes you to a place of grieving. Anytime you're letting go of the old
Mm.
and you're birthing something new, it's a death process.
Yeah.
And letting go of what we feel secure and holding on to is hard. I know that girl. I know the survivor girl. I
Yeah.
know the insecure girl. I know the fearful girl. I know the doubtful worry. I know that girl. And although it may not feel good all the time, I know her. And so to
Yeah.
let go of her, to show up as a vulnerable, secure,
Yeah.
patient, loving, joyful girl who says, I don't have to be in control. Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. And
That's
that's
a
all
big
you
deal.
know. That's the only her that you know.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
letting go of her, it can be terrifying,
Absolutely.
especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm,
And I love how you say, I mean, we grieve that because
mm-hmm,
that's who we've been most of our lives. And like
mm-hmm.
I said, and that's all we know.
Yeah.
So I think that is
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yes. It, it
Um,
it is. It is.
so when we talk about the cosmic wound, how does that differ from how we're usually taught to heal or to move on from certain situations?
So, and I'm saying womb being the womb, like in that space.
Yeah,
And
yes.
when we're there, you don't see everything that's happening.
Yeah,
A lot of times we're taught, it's in our education, we're taught steps, 1, 2, 3.
yeah,
We're taught a performance method, how to perform, how
yes.
to get from here. And so in that dark space, it's different because it's about feeling.
Yeah,
There's no 1, 2, 3 step. Grief has different phases, and it's not always in order. So,
yeah.
the acceptance of the grief is one phase. The truth, the reality of it, and they're all different phases. So you have to process it differently because it's in a dark space, and all you have is your feelings.
That's
And you
right.
have to know how to feel, even feel from an ascended space.
Yes.
Feeling that when this is tough, tough doesn't always mean bad. Tough
Mm,
means I'm capable. Tough means I'm able. Tough means I am who I think I am. I'm called to do this. Who else can
yes.
do this better than me?
Yes.
So, getting in that space and that mindset and that
Hmm.
feeling is different than what we're taught to do in our 3D reality
Yes.
often.
And we're so often taught to run from tough and those uncomfortable feelings that come up.
Hmm. Hmm. I am I shared with you that, having a new perspective. Oftentimes when we are healing on this healing journey,
Yeah.
and I can't speak for everyone, but if
Mm-hmm.
you're like me, I can isolate. And so
Mm-hmm.
in my eyes, I can guard myself, guard my heart, guard my relationships, and I can be solo.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm solo, I am the most healed version of me ever. Have it all figured out.
Yes.
I'm in my, you can't tell me anything.
Somebody.
I am her.
Yes.
But the moment you get a mirror,
Oh,
when a person shows up, and this is anything, a new job, a new romantic partner,
yeah.
somebody that you allow in, a coach, anything, When
Yeah.
you get that mirror, though, you realize, oh, wow,
Oh,
maybe what I
yes.
thought was healing was just on hold until now I can face it. Because healing is just what we do in that moment of choice.
Yeah.
If I don't have those moments of choice, then I can't really honestly say that I've mastered that thing. So now, being in a space where I've taken the guards down, I'm putting
Mm-hmm.
myself back out publicly. I've meeting different people, and I'm having to face myself
Yeah.
has been an adjustment,
So,
but
what's
it's
the biggest thing that's come up for you during this
uh,
process?
oh gosh, I like to know what I know. I need to control the outcome, and not
Yeah.
even if I don't control it, at least let me know what it's going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
I said this even about labor. About I tell my the way I was able to have my children naturally is if you could just tell me how much longer am I going to feel like this, I'm okay. If you
That'd be
tell me I
good.
got one more hour, I
Yeah.
can get through this hour. But if you tell me I don't know, then I'm just ready to throw in the towel.
Yes.
And so I'll run if I don't know how much longer, if I can't see the
Yeah.
outcome. And so now I'm in a space where I'm vulnerable in my
Mm,
relationships and I don't know the outcome. I could meet a new person and could they hurt me? Yes, but they also could be my very best friend.
that's right.
Um, I could start the Oracle Ascension Center and could people hurt me? Absolutely. But could they be the best support system I've had?
Yes.
Absolutely. And so instead of running away, I'm running into the experiences, understanding that even if I'm faced with a challenge, it's only going to make me better and
Yeah.
stronger. And so learning to hang the track shoes up,
Yeah.
learning to hang the track shoes up only for my ultimate ascension, only for my evolution is why
Yes.
it's worth it.
And I think the Oracle Ascension Center is so important. And I
Mhm.
love the fact that you started it. I can speak from coming out of religion,
Mhm.
like, similar to you. Personally, I know that, I had gone to church every Sunday, and you had that fellowship. And even if I didn't necessarily love it just because of the things that I watched within the church, we still had it. And that was the normal. Like, that was my norm, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I did grieve that, like, once I stopped, like, we stepped back, stopped going to church. And I found that there's not a whole lot of support in the beginning
Mhm. Mhm.
because you hadn't found your people yet.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the fact that you have created this space, this safe space for people to come to, and you can relate with so much of what people are going through and what they need and the type of support they need. I love that. And it's the type of fellowship I think that just we need so badly.
Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely, absolutely. It's I relate it to a relationship. When
Yeah.
I first got divorced, people said, "Would you ever get married again?"
Hmm.
And my first thought was, "Hell no."
No. No chance.
Uh,
Not gonna do
I'm
it.
good. I'm okay by myself.
Yeah.
I'm independent. All those things. Um, and then I healed to a space where the marriage wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
That dynamic and whatever marriage looks like for people, whether it's just life partnership, whether it's
Right.
dating, whether you decide to do it on paper, whatever it is,
Yeah.
but partnership wasn't the problem. The problem
Hmm.
was that I was unhealed with another unhealed person, and
Yes.
we did what we needed to do to push each other to grow.
Yeah.
And when that season and time was up, we parted our ways. And so the union itself isn't the problem. Union with other
Exactly.
people isn't the problem. And so, I had to heal through the church hurt
Yeah.
to realize us convening weekly isn't the problem.
Mm-mm.
It's the unhealed stuff in that meeting that's the problem.
Yes.
So that was a big part of me accepting, this next phase. I realized I've healed past the church hurt.
Yeah.
And even saying church, like, my business coach, she's like, yeah, you got to start a church on Sunday. I was like, not a church.
Nope.
It's not going to be called
We're not calling it a church. But
center.
Yes.
Let's talk about a center. So we came to a common ground of, okay, let's do that.
Yes.
But the reality is what you said. A lot of times, if you go back and think about church, that was your support system. That was,
Yes.
and so every situation isn't bad. There was
Yeah.
somebody there, maybe a Sunday school teacher or a leader who really had your back. And so
Yes.
just creating that space where I could heal past that and just create the environment and the space that I desire. And so, even though we're starting online, the goal is ultimately that we'll have a space where people can come together. We'll probably start with my retreats,
Yeah.
and where we could just come together and laugh and talk and be like minded. When you're
Mm-hmm.
with your tribe, it's something about that you can find peace and then be energized and ready to go back out and do whatever it is you
Yes.
got to do. So,
I think that is
yeah.
so important and so healthy. So, and you kind of touched on this, but what is your vision for this center or church, or like, what do you see?
Um, I see the platform, and a lot of people don't know this name. Her name is Catherine Kuhlman. Catherine Kuhlman was one of the great generals back in the church days,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a female before women were okay, but she was a world renowned speaker. I mean,
Yeah.
she was known for her healing, her healing ministry. That was her thing, and she dealt with a lot in her personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But when I was younger and in church, I was always told I had the Catherine Kuhlman anointing.
Mm.
And I said, okay. And now, an older white woman, and I have the Catherine Kuhlman. I mean, so I'm like, okay, now, all right,
Yeah.
we'll go with it. There's no color in the spirit, but she being
That's
her,
right.
and she just talked like this, and she just looked like this angel. And I'm so blunt and not that. So I'm just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in the back of my mind, like back burner, didn't think about it.
Yeah.
As my spirit started opening to this, her name would just come up,
Mm.
just in my thoughts.
Yeah.
And so I went and actually really started studying her life because
Mm-hmm.
I knew of her, but I hadn't studied her.
Right.
And I went and studied her, and it was the light bulb moment was like, oh, so Catherine Coleman had her own home base, but she
Mm-hmm.
traveled. And so I see that I will be busy. I will be traveling. I will
Yes.
take, this space of love and support and hold the bridge,
Yeah.
and I'll take it wherever it's called, wherever it's needed. So I see it growing to that. Of course, I want a school. I want a metaphysical school one day. So that the children that are
Yes.
coming in, these new souls and our new light beings, the star seeds, they don't have to go
Yes.
through that, not feeling like they fit in. They can come in telling me, I see this, or telling their teachers, I see that. And the teacher's like, yeah, I see it too. Like,
That would be
so,
amazing.
or teaching, how to move things with your mind. It's like the
Yes.
mindset from church. So I want a metaphysical school to be birthed
Oh.
out of the center. So big dreams, big dreams. I want to support the women,
Mm-hmm.
of course. And who knows? There may be a male counterpart to support the men. I don't know. A lot of
Yes.
times men do come to me and I
Mm-hmm.
share what I can. And thankfully I have mentors that I can send them to when they need that male support. But it's gonna be big. It's gonna
That's
be big.
huge. And you bring up children, and um, I feel like they are closer. Like the veil is so thin for
Hmm.
children, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I do think often that they do see things and they do experience things, and they may try to share it at first, but usually it's shut down pretty quickly, right?
Yes.
And so that's how that kind of dies, or it really doesn't die, but um, they suppress it,
Hmm.
and I think
Hmm.
that would be absolutely amazing
Yes.
for
Yes. When I
children.
think about all the things that I didn't say when I was younger,
Yes.
again, I've been psychic my whole life.
Yeah.
So, but so many things I didn't say because, oh my gosh. And I think my mom knew. And
Yeah.
if she were here, I wish I could ask. I wasn't here when she was here,
Yes.
but I feel like she knew I was different. And I feel like there were times and spaces she tried to protect me because I
Mm.
would have seemed weird.
Yeah. Yes.
And so that's the space that I want to create where you can be weird here. You can
Mm-hmm.
be you. And I
Yes.
believe you. Not only is it okay for you to do that, it's that I know what you're saying is right.
Yes. I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen it on social media where this mom and this young boy,
Hmm.
they have you seen? I don't know their names,
I
but
don't
I
know it either.
love watching
Hmm.
him and the way he speaks, and she's there, of course, to support him, and but he is so insightful,
Hmm.
and they have allowed that to grow in that
Yes.
boy, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have all of my children have the ability I have better than me times 10. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
and thankfully, even though we were in church, I just, because of my own story, I
yeah.
never took that from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always able to hear. But the younger ones who've never been indoctrinated, like my youngest, she'll
Yes.
be talking, and she'll see me looking at her, and then,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, well, who are you talking to? And of course she will want to say nobody, or
Nobody.
she says
Mm-hmm.
me, and I say, yeah, well, what were you saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't make her feel a certain, but it's cool because I know when it's happening that her source
Yes.
self, they're just having dialogue, and it's okay.
I love
Just having
that.
them doing it out loud in public. That's fine with me. You know. Yeah.
And that's another thing that you mentioned on your episode Sunday is that, like, going to church back in the day when you were pastoring and all, is you were
Hmm.
getting all of your little ones. You have 8 children, right?
Hmm.
And you were getting, I think you said 6 of them, like, ready to go to church, like, every Sunday morning. That would
Yes.
have to be, so I did not have six. That would be so chaotic, I think, on Sunday mornings.
It was.
Yeah. You're
It was.
Superwoman, I will
Yeah.
say,
Well,
for
thank you.
sure.
And then trying to, focus on this part of it, but then still you got mommy mode going on, and then you got, and
Yes.
they were young at the time, so you have,
Mm-hmm.
toddler vibes going on, and you got to get the cup, and you got to get the diapers, and so it was a process, but we made it.
Yes. So back to the cosmic wound.
Hmm.
For people who have a hard time getting in like the dark space,
Hmm.
where do they start? And I know you mentioned like meditation in the mornings, but
Hmm.
what what does that process look like in the beginning?
What the challenge I put out Sunday was to think about your hardest time, the
Mm-hmm.
the dark the time where you felt like you wanted to give up.
Yeah.
Reflect in that space. And the fact that you're in this space, reflecting on that space shows
Mm.
that you made it.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
go back to that dark space and shift the message. If you could, most of us will say, if I had to go through that to get here, it was worth it.
Yeah.
But in that space, you won't say that. So reflect back there and now shift that story. Talk to yourself in that space and say, hey, we're going through this for a purpose. It's about to get better. Joy is coming and it's going to be better than you could ever imagine. So what do we do
Yes.
with it? Now that we know it's going to be better, how will we come out of this? Not
Yes.
bitter, not angry, not frustrated, not resentful. We'll come out of this grateful and proud and ready.
Yeah.
And so that was the challenge I gave this week of how to create that dark space. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you start doing it through meditation, like I said, in the
Mm.
mornings, you don't necessarily have to go to that space. You just wake up knowing this is a space of infinite possibilities. What do I want to create today?
Yeah. So what verse did you use?
Psalm 35.
Mm-hmm.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
Yeah. Explain
Yeah.
that.
In that cosmic womb, and
Mm-hmm.
you're in your dark space. When I was taught that scripture, the focus was always on joy comes in the morning.
Yeah.
Joy comes in the morning. And so I realized that because I now understand what's happening there, maybe I don't want to rush so much to the morning. Let me get what I need to get in
Yes.
this weeping season so that I can show up in this joyful season and maintain that for ever and ever and ever and ever.
Yes.
And so I was like, let's not rush that weeping may endure for a night. Yes, that's true, but what can I do in this night season? And naturally, my astrological sign was Scorpio, so I love
Mm-hmm.
dark.
Yeah.
I transfer. I mean, I'm my best self in the dark space, and so that was a part of it, is understanding that that's really where I'm made.
Mm-hmm.
When I show up for other people, um, it's because I've spent some time in a dark space. I've
Mm-hmm.
spent some time transforming, letting go of the old, grieving the old, and
Yeah.
coming out a whole new person. And I naturally I reinvent myself often. So isolation for me is just a part of becoming. It's a part
Yeah.
of being her. And so, yeah, don't rush the night season.
Yeah.
Endure it, enjoy it, change the perspective, and then you can start looking forward to it.
So you used, I believe, your divorce as an
Mhm.
example.
Mhm.
I would love for you to talk about that.
Yes. So, my first divorce was from
Mm-hmm.
my childhood sweetheart, love of my life. And I can remember, at times, I remember just sitting, just crying, um, still in a church mindset. So I
Mm-hmm.
had a different support system.
Mm-hmm.
The second marriage was for 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it was a tougher it was a tougher process because I had to choose me.
Yeah.
And so that brought up so much emotionally. The guilt that women feel for choosing themselves,
Yes.
the guilt that because in that relationship, I became the mother that he didn't have. And so
Mm-hmm.
most mothers will not neglect their children,
Yeah.
so having to walk away, realizing that's not my child, it's not my responsibility, and I've done all that I can do. The
Yeah.
guilt that I carried, in that, the guilt of how did I let myself go
Mm-hmm.
for so long? Why did I not speak up and say, hey, I need this? Or because I'm not getting this, why didn't I leave sooner? So all of those things. And then now the children have to have a whole new life. Like, all of that was just
Yeah.
on me. And I'm in a space where now I'm having to start over. I'm having to do all these things over. I don't have my parents.
Yeah.
People don't understand because from the outside looking in, they thought I had this great, amazing life.
Yeah.
But on the inside, I wasn't happy, and I didn't have peace, and I didn't have joy. And so I was living a very functionally depressed life.
Mm-hmm.
And there were days in the relationship where I just would think, if I died today, it's
Yeah.
okay. And that was a dark, dark place. And so coming out of that, um, created an even darker space for a moment. I mean, it was some hate in there, it was some rage in there. It was
Yes.
days if I was full of a lot of stuff. And I remember just crying one day. The children were
Mm-hmm.
gone with him, and I was screaming. And I mean, screaming to the top of my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
If I could take my heart out my chest, I would have. Like,
Yeah.
and I just said, you know what? If I have to do this every single day until I
Mm.
figure out who I am, why I chose this path, and what I'm supposed to get from it, I will. And so it shifted from how much longer do I have to go through this to let me stay here
Mm.
because I don't want to have to do this again. And so I
Yes.
stopped rushing. And that was how I got to that yes, weeping may endure for a night. And my mom would say, and this too shall pass. So I know I'm
Yes.
going to get through it. Let me sit here and get it. And when I sat there and stopped trying to rush it, I didn't try to go get in a relationship to cope. I didn't
Yeah.
resort to any other, I didn't resort to the coping mechanisms, whether it was
Mm-hmm.
drinking or whatever the case may be. I just sat in it, and I sat in it, and I sat in it to where my mentors was like, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
But I just sat in it until the feeling of overstanding was there, the feeling of peace, the feeling of
Yeah.
resolve. And I saw the source self of me, that version. And I said, oh, wow, you a bad mama jamma.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and so the more I would sit in that space, the more
Yeah.
empowered I would feel. And before I knew it, when I look back, I wasn't crying anymore. I'm
Mm.
screaming, but I'm screaming to myself in the mirror, girl, you got it. Girl, you did. You are beautiful. You
Yes.
are worth it. You are da da da, and you did it, and you made it. And if you can do it, somebody else can. And when I started seeing that, I
Yes.
was like, oh, this is good. This is what it's about. This
Yes.
is why I cried those tears. This is why I had to scream. And so the scream became powerful. It
Yeah.
became rewarding. And then before I knew it, the joy was there.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important for people to hear
Hmm.
because when you're in that really, really, you feel like a desperate place in the
Hmm.
dark place,
Hmm.
you don't feel like you're going to come out of it. And
Yep.
you try to find things to cope. Like you
Hmm.
said, you didn't like
Hmm.
rush into a relationship or find, something that would take the place of the pain
Hmm.
and that feeling.
Hmm.
You sat with it and you said, I'm going to find out like what it is.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
And that is where true growth and healing, that's what it's about. And I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really about facing ourselves, facing our shadows,
Yes.
and doing the hard work. I had to go back to the little girl me, and I had
Yeah.
to talk to her and say, hey, and what I one of my visions was I would see my inner child, but I was always in my room,
Mm.
always in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Took me to a memory of my mom was always in her room.
Yeah.
And why is my mom always in her room? My dad is in the house, but my mom is always in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to realize what I did was healing for generations and generations, because I was the first one
Yes.
in my probably recent family that got a divorce, not once, but now twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody else stays in these 40, 50-year marriages till death do us part, and here I am like, nope, it's not
Nope.
working, and I'm moving on. And all the energies, what we call ancestors, all the other versions of me that had lived prior, saying, you were the one that could do it.
Yeah.
We knew you were the one that could do it. And
Yes.
not to say anything bad about my dad or my granddad or anybody else, it's just women will sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
And as the divine feminine is rising and humanity is evolving, that season of the divine feminine sacrificing herself is over.
It's over.
It's just over. And
Mm-hmm.
so it shifted. Wow, I was called to such a great call,
Yes.
and I did it. And my daughters can see, and as I'm
Yes.
healing, my children are seeing this, like, mommy, you're so much happier. I'm coming out of the room. And so I talked to that inner child, and I asked her, why are you always in the room? And she said,
Yeah.
it's not safe out here. And I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. I'm so sorry that you feel that way, but I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna come out this room. And when we come
Yeah.
out of this room, we're gonna face some stuff. And it may not always be pretty, but I'm gonna be right here. And so now when I have to face things, the first thought is I'm holding my little hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm here. Now this may not feel good, this may be tough, this may be a challenge, but I'm here, and I will never walk away from you again. I won't neglect you, I won't silence you. When you say you see
Yes.
harm or you feel danger, let's sit with it. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to face it,
Mm-hmm.
or are we going to walk away, or what? But we're going to do it together, whatever we do. And so
Yes.
that's become my dialogue, starting the center. We're going to
That's
get up here on this
huge.
stage, little girl. We're going to stand up here, and all these people are going to look at us,
Yeah.
but we're going to be looked at together.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hear you. And if you need a Sunday off, you're going to say, hey guys, we're not going to air this Sunday
Mm-hmm.
because she needs a break.
Yes.
And so learning to speak up, for myself, and doing the things that we need to do. And that's a part of the healing. In church, you just go, you serve, you serve, you serve to your own detriment. And in the center, no, we're here to thrive. We're here to heal. We're here to love. And rest is a part of what we
Mm.
need. So yeah, no more self-sacrifice.
I think you need to say that again for the people in the back. Rest is what?
Something we absolutely need. It's a part of our development. It's a part of our growth.
Yes.
You know,
And
cells
women,
the cells need that time
yes.
to do what they need to do. And so yeah.
And that's the cells in our body. That is like actually what our body needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
believe, and I can, you know, speak for myself definitely here too. Women feel guilty when they rest,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am just now learning this.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about working with your inner child and that little girl. And I've been working with mine a lot lately. And I have found that she just needs like an abundance of hugs. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just, growing up, I grew up an only child. My brother passed away when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
there were some, like many households, but there were some dysfunctions in my house. And so I did spend a lot of alone time. And I thought things that were going on was a reflection of me. Of course, you know, and children, they tend to absorb that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been doing a lot of work with my inner child and that
Yeah.
girl that did not feel worthy. And
Yeah.
so, and that is just so incredibly important. And we don't do it enough,
Yeah.
you know?
Um, and just connecting with your inner child, I see her wanting to play. And
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like for you, what your house, what your space is like, but it's
Yeah.
gonna feel really good if you can find a way. Roll down a hill, like do something that
Yes.
think of, right down the street, see what a child is doing and go home and do it. That's
You
gonna be
s-
so healing for you. I'm telling you, do it.
I
Do it.
believe you. Yes. And you're right. You're right on. Like your vision is spot on. I have, until recently, always felt like I had to have it together. I had to be the emotional support for everyone. And
Mm-hmm.
I did not allow myself to just let loose and
Yeah.
be, just have fun, unless in the past, if I had a few drinks or something, I could do it again. It was always
I
like
can
in
relate.
an intoxicated state. It was not just me allowing myself to come out. And so,
Yeah.
yes, that is spot on. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I went and bought coloring books and markers. And so when I get too when I have to adult too long,
Yeah,
and I
yes.
keep them on my night table
Yeah.
as a reminder. So when I have to adult too long, I'll move the
Mm-hmm.
bills, I'll move the phone, I'll move everything, and I'm gonna color.
I love
I
that.
just and I'm so focused on the coloring before I
Yeah.
know it, I'm having a ball. And whatever's
Yes.
happening on the phone, whatever's happening outside, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm
It
just
doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
find your thing, your it. And then another thing is something my mom used to do was these word jumbles. And
Oh,
so
yes. Mm-hmm.
um I ordered a book. They don't sell them in the store as much as they used to. It used to be like one square in the newspaper, and she
Yeah.
would do it. I've ordered a book on Amazon and I carry it with me. And so now I've been doing those word jumbles just to honor that her energy. Like when you
Yes.
think about connecting those ways, it's healing. And
It
this healing
is.
journey isn't always so um it's not hard. It's not what we
No.
call deep,
Yeah.
just doing the things that feels good. If you can find what feels good, you'll do so much more growth,
Yes.
in that space than you will trying to, do some strong woo woo thing. Like, those
Yes.
there's a space for that. Don't, I'm a plant
Mm-hmm.
medicine lady. Like I get it. But, the small things that just feel good
Mm-hmm.
does a whole lot. It takes me a long way.
I have not thought about those word jumbles in years. So I used to go to my grandmother's, or my grandparents, but I'd
Mm-hmm.
spent a lot of time with my grandmother almost every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And she would always have a word jumble ready for me. And I I would love that. So I
Yep.
know what I'm about to purchase.
Your neighbor's gonna see you rolling down the hill and sitting doing puzzles like, well, she's doing something.
I may have to
Yeah,
call you and let you know.
please do.
That's amazing. Um,
Yes.
so something else that you also touch on, I've noticed in your videos lately is being her,
Mm-hmm.
embracing her. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about that. What does that mean?
Oh my gosh. So, one of my mentors who doesn't know that she's my mentor yet, but I'm putting it out there that she's my the next mentor is Kathleen Cameron. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, fortunately, my first husband was a professional athlete. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was exposed to $1 million lifestyle in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Um, After the divorce and he stopped playing things, lost it all. Second
Mm-hmm.
husband, if I have these ideas, he would know to just listen. I'm like, hey, you should do such and such. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
this and I think that. And ended up, he built a business that became very lucrative. So here I am back
Mm-hmm.
in this, elite space.
Mm-hmm.
And then walking away twice from that saying, you know
Yes.
what? I can do this by myself.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? If I could build up two other people, two men to get to their status, why can't I do that for me?
Yeah. Yes.
And not to say I'm so independent that I don't want a partner,
Mm-hmm.
but I can hold that space for myself as well. And so I started listening to different things about wealth, and of course I've always listened about Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but I mean in this awakening
Yeah.
journey, I
Yeah.
started listening about Proctor and Neville Goddard and Napoleon Hill. Like I'm listening to them, and I realized my energy supported them. It can do it for me. And so I came
Yes.
across her, which is she's a student of Bob Proctor, and
Mm-hmm.
she talks about that identity shifting in a way that's like basic.
Mm-hmm.
One, two, three.
Mm-hmm.
If I know I can have it, what does the version of me look like that has it? What is the version of me? What does she do? How does she think? And, if I'm at a choice point, if I really believe that I'm already this person, what would I do?
Yeah.
And I started living that way. I said, oh, wow, I'm already her. And so I realized, well, I've already had millions twice in my life. I can't say I'm a million. I mean, I've already done that.
Yeah.
I need to be a billionaire. So I decided I'm a billionaire in this life. And so what would a billionaire
Yes.
do? And I would wake up thinking that way. And so my children would call and ask me for things. And yes, because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, well, friend, you want to go on this trip? Yes, because
Mm-hmm.
why not? And then not only do
Exactly.
I want to get there and stay, in this room, I want to stay in this room. And then it's okay for that. I had to
Yes.
break that humility, that humble mindset that we got from growing up in church that, not that
Yes.
money's bad, but, you got to be humble about it, or all these things around money. And I
The
started
love of money
shifting.
is the worst thing
Yes.
ever.
And so I love money. I love
Yeah.
money. I
Mm-hmm.
love money. Money loves me. And it was just a frequency. It was a feeling. It was
Yes.
a vibe that I had. And so when I tapped into that, I'm already her. I'm already that
Yes.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
I've been that girl. I'm already that girl. I'm always going to be that girl. And so how does she live? What does she want to do? What does she think about? What does
Yes.
she eat? And so that was how I shifted that identity. And so now when people talk to me, I talk from that place.
Yeah.
And I said this on Sunday, is there a million yet? Now, a million is just one part. I'm a
Yes.
billionaire.
Yes. Yes.
This is just 1 million is just the lower part of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see a million in there? I do. Now, you may not, but
Yeah.
in my eyes, I do. And so
Yes.
I don't, stop checking the bank account. Everyone,
Mm-hmm.
for what? I just live. And that's a tough spot because we're taught logic. And
Yes.
does this make sense? Do you want to buy this now? You need to save this. I don't save because what am I
Mm-hmm.
saving for? There are no rainy days in my story.
Yeah.
There are no rainy days. I
Yes.
always have everything I need. So I can allocate my funds this way, but I don't have to budget because for what? I'm a big,
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
in listening to her, you have to stay in that space because
Yes.
and she talks about it, there's this tension point of the old you that feels the secure, the nervous
Mm-hmm.
system, it is trying to
Mm-hmm.
keep you safe. And you have to just keep going. You have to just keep going. And when
Yes.
it doesn't make logical sense is when you have to do it. When it
Yes.
makes logical sense, then you got to it has to make no sense in the logic at all. And you just keep going.
Mm-hmm. So I
So,
had a huge shift lately. I say a huge shift. For me, it was a huge shift. So talking about money and abundance,
mm-hmm,
my nervous system, even though like everything you say is absolutely like spot on, and I know this,
mm-hmm,
my logical mind knows it, and I know that we attract what we are and the energy that we put out. And when I still would talk about money, I would get just like a tightness in my chest. Like, I mean, and I was like, I know this is real, right?
mm-hmm,
So I couldn't break that.
mm-hmm,
And I listen to, like meditation music when I go to sleep,
mm-hmm,
right? Well, I started listening to like pure frequencies, and,
mm-hmm,
I was listening to a certain one, and I woke up one morning, and so I realized like it was a download, um why my nervous system still reacted the way it did. And it
mm-hmm,
was, I mean, for one, we were taught to be humble, and
mm-hmm,
money is evil, and which I know is the love of money that we're taught,
mm-hmm,
but that still makes us feel like having a lot of money is not a good thing,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
So anyway, it was so clear to me. And I was like, okay, not only do I understand it and I see it and I see the steps that I need to take, I know that this feeling in my nervous system, I need to feel these emotions and allow myself to, not try to push them away. And
mm-hmm,
again, I know this, but I couldn't figure out why I was still having that like physical reaction to it. And I need to love that part of me and talk to that part of me. Okay, so I sat down, I made like micro steps that I needed to, to make to
mm-hmm,
get there.
mm-hmm,
And literally by that evening, I had like a 1 month step plan.
mm-hmm,
And I had enough money that came free to finished that 1 month plan in like 24 hours. Just like that. I was like, okay, this is what it's about, and that was just a huge shift for me.
Yeah.
And so everything that you're saying, I absolutely resonate with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting. Another another guy that I listen to, David Bear. He talks about he's really good with breaking it down as well. But he talks about just how when we make that shift, like making the shift in that moment, you have to continuously do it. You have to continue because it's not a one-time thing.
No.
And so how you felt that in there, you just keep at it, like just keep at it, because he was saying even with him and all of us that can teach this abundance mindset, right?
Yeah.
We've experienced it. It still comes up. So don't think that there's ever this place that we're not going
Yeah.
But it's the ability to, in the moment, still do the thing that doesn't make logical sense. Just
Exactly.
in the moment. And when we deal with that fear of, and I can take it back even to the text, if he will supply us for the birds and the animals, and what wouldn't happen,
That's
for me.
right.
So we fear sometimes what a rainy day looks like. What if I can't pay my bills? What if I can't? What if I can't? I've experienced highs and I've experienced lows. I've experienced broke. And what I realized is even in those times, it was setting me up for the next biggest phase of my life.
Yes.
So I no longer fear those when they happen. If it were to happen, oh boy. Oh boy. Now, I don't have to create that belief that it's going to happen. Belief is just a decision.
Yeah.
I used to tell that story that, I would have to go through some hard time to get what I've gone through the hardest of my times. I've gone through the hardest of my times at this phase of my life. Yeah. There is nothing but good from here. Nothing but up from here. Nothing but joy from here. So I've done it. I'm her.
Yes.
And I've experienced it. And so, just sticking with it. Just sticking with it. And what you did that day when you said you woke up and you made that plan, that was you shifted.
Yes.
You shifted.
Yes.
And this, when we feel it in our chest, it's just fear.
Exactly.
It's just fear. And so, what were you fearing? Maybe not having it. What were you fearing? What am I going to, I have fear that I have to figure this out by myself.
Yes.
And you don't.
No, you're right.
Your source self. Hey, my highest self. Hey, this human girl don't have the answers today. So I'm going to take my hands off. The human me is going to take my hands off because I don't have it. And me sitting here pondering and doing all these things in my human body is not going to fix it. So I'm going to just go color.
That's right. Yes. And one thing that I found that I had the hardest time getting over or working through or whatever is when I would say, I deserve it. I'm worthy of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would, that like my chest would get tight because I like subconsciously did not believe that, and I feel like that's probably where a lot of people get stuck. Or we feel selfish.
And remember, I just said money is just frequency. It's a currency.
Exactly.
So as worthy, you're worthy. You deserve rest.
Yeah.
You also deserve wealth.
Yes.
And so the mindset that I have now is I make more money the more rest I get. So I don't have to work hard for it.
That's
People
right.
ask me sometimes, what do you do? And I won't even tell them what I do. I'll just say nothing.
Yeah.
Because really, I do the things I love to do.
Yeah.
People will say, well, you look like you're glowing, or you look younger, or all those things. And the answer to that is because I do the things I love to do. That's all I do.
Right.
If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. If it doesn't feel good, I'm not doing it. Getting up and working a 9 to 5 doesn't feel good to me, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, how do you pay your bills?
They get paid.
I'm a millionaire. And then I don't they just get paid. Like, a billionaire. They just get paid.
Yes.
And so, but I say that. And the more when you say it, and the more you say it, and the more you say it, and people look at you, and they're looking at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
I get excited.
Yes.
Because, oh boy, when you see it, you're going to be a client. That's my next client right there.
Absolutely.
My price is probably going to be up by the time you realize it. But
yes.
These are things that we can shift. We believe that there was a person in the sky living in a mansion on a street, if we could believe that,
Sitting on a throne. What'd you
sitting
call
on a throne,
him? That some daddy god?
Sky
What?
Daddy, the Sky
Yeah, Sky
Daddy.
Daddy. That's what you said.
if
Yeah.
if we could believe that, or we could believe a man went into a well and he came out, or a man sat in front
Yes.
of some hungry lions and they didn't even look. I mean, if we could believe those things,
Yes.
how much more can we believe what we've already experienced? Because
That's
one thing I can tell you
right.
is you've never not eaten. You might didn't eat
Absolutely.
that meal, but you ate the next meal. So I can
Yes.
tell you, I can look at you and see you in front of me and know you didn't starve to death
Yeah.
because you're here
And you made it.
and you made it. So if we can believe some of that stuff,
Yeah.
all we have to do is change the belief system. And the
That's
belief
right.
system now is I have everything I want. I have everything I
Absolutely.
desire. I live and I deserve it. I'm
Yes.
worthy of it. And so I can go
Yes.
take a nap when I want to take a nap because I don't have to answer to anybody.
That's right. That's incredible. And
Yeah.
the freedom that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I believe so many are looking for that freedom and they
Yeah.
just don't know where to start.
Yeah. You remember when The Secret was a big thing
Yes.
when it came
Yes.
out? That was the Bob Proctor, Rhonda Byrne, like all that
Mm-hmm.
movement in our time. I'm sure
Yeah.
Neville got they had it in their time, but in our time. And then there's a sequel or a subsequent book that came out called The Feeling is the Secret.
Hmm.
So you had the secret and you had the magic, and I think it was the power. I think it's maybe
Yeah.
4. But then there's this little small book and it says the feeling is the secret. If I feel like I'm already her,
Yes.
the
You're
only
her.
reason why I want the money is because it creates freedom. So
Exactly.
why I can just feel free now. Rather the
Yeah.
money shows up and I've already gotten it now because
Yes.
I feel free. I can travel. I did more traveling last year in the midst of my darkest time than I had ever
Yeah.
done. And when I look back, I'm like, wow, it's only going to get better. This year I'm going to go to a different place and do a
Yes.
different thing and push myself to do like
I love
so
it.
it's the feeling. Once you get the feeling, you realize you've already obtained the
Yeah.
thing.
And that's why people say, I mean, you hear people say, I've been doing like affirmations and they're not working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason is because you haven't embodied the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You're not there yet. You're
Mm-hmm.
just simply saying, I
Mm-hmm.
want financial freedom or I want freedom of time or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't gotten it because you have to embrace the feeling and just you know that you're her, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the affirmations they play a role. I
They
think
do.
maybe that might be how I started.
Mm-hmm.
But
But you
my
kept
level
going.
yeah, you got to keep going. You got
Yeah.
to keep going because if you don't feel it, you can't psych your. You got to feel it, and
Yeah.
that comes with the meditation. You sit
That's
in that
right.
dark
Mm.
space until you feel a shift. And there are some people that say, well, you don't meditate that long. You only meditate for this amount of time. Do what you got to do. I've
Yeah.
had to sit for an hour or like it, and now
Yes.
Dr. Joe Dispenza Becoming Supernatural will change everything. He has
Mm-hmm.
an hour-long meditation, but if you sit in that, sit in that, you're gonna feel a shift. It may not be the first time, it may not be the second time,
Yeah.
but people will ask, well, how can you feel something you've never had?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the whys. Well, why do I want this money? Okay, I want to feel free. Okay, well, once I feel free, well, when have I ever felt free in my life? Oh, when
Yeah.
I was a kid and I went outside and I got dirty and I didn't care if mud was on. Okay, so inner child healing.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you just have to keep digging, and once you get to that place, then you can start embodying those feelings.
Yes.
I
Yes.
haven't held a billion. I can honestly say I know what a million
Mm-hmm.
feels like. I know what several million feels
Yeah.
like. I don't know what the billion feels like besides a magnified version of the millionaire life.
Yes.
What would I do with it? What would I,
Mm-hmm.
what is my plan? What am I going to do with it? I already know. I already think about it. So that's why I can think about the retreat centers. And I
Yeah.
can think about traveling. And I'm going to have a jet because I got to speak here. Probably got to speak out of the
Yes.
country. And then I got to speak over here. And I got to get there quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I already know this. I've seen me on the jet. I've seen me on the jet. I've seen the outfit. I've seen my friends riding with me. I've seen me retiring my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I already told her this year. I said, well, do you love your job? She's like, yeah, I love what I do. I said, well, I need you to hurry up and finish loving it because this is probably your last year working,
Yeah.
and she was like, okay.
I'm in.
And she's been with me long enough to know that when I say something,
It's real.
no doubt, she was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
my last year. It's my last year. Yeah. So It's good. It's good. It's
Yes,
good. The feeling is good. Feeling
it
it is
is.
good.
And what's
Mm-hmm.
happening there is we're actually, and I explain it, vibration, like where we
Mm-hmm.
are.
Mm-hmm.
And if what we want is here, and it doesn't mean like above us or anything, but we're here, we
Mm-hmm.
have to feel it so we can meet it there, so it can actually start coming to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And changing up the routine. I
Mm-hmm.
know that I live a different life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say I don't work a 9 to 5, I know that there are some people that are still in that space.
Yeah.
And when you're in that space and you don't want to be there, that's when it needs to go dark. It needs to go
Yeah.
real dark, and you need to
Yes.
figure out who you are and how powerful you are, and that you
Mm-hmm.
get to shift that reality.
Yes.
And you stay there long enough, you're gonna be right in that 2 week resignation. You might not give them 2 weeks. 9 times out of 10, when the light bulb goes off, it's the next
It's
day.
done.
Hey, I'm probably not coming back, but thank you.
Thanks for the
and
opportunity.
and
Mm-hmm.
I there was many years where I realized that I never had a problem getting a job.
Yeah.
I never had a problem getting it. It may not be, the biggest job of that. So I could take the risk of walking off a job.
Yeah.
Because if I needed to, I could go back. And that was a cycle until one day I realized I'm never going
I'm
back.
not going back.
I'm not going
Yes.
back.
There's not a plan
I have
B. Like, this is it.
there is no plan. And
Yeah.
and once I, did that, I got out of that cycle. Now that cycle helped for a while, because I could push myself a little bit further, a little bit further. And then it just I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
I love that. That's,
However that looks, I can't tell you I know every step between now and then.
well, of course not. Yeah.
But do I need to know? No, I'm just enjoying this space.
Yes.
Enjoy the space, enjoy the feeling, so that
That's
one day I
right.
can look back and say, oh, wow, did that too.
Yes. Enjoy the journey because it's about the journey.
Yes.
Because if we don't enjoy the journey, I mean, once we get there, it's just like, okay, well, what's next? I mean, we have to embrace it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I do think that we forget to enjoy life a lot.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Living in the now.
Yeah.
Living in the now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how would you encourage people or tell them how to live in the now so they're not worried about the future or dwelling on the past? Because I think
Mhm.
we do that a lot.
Yeah. Finding the gratitude in the
Mm.
day, in the moment.
Yeah.
So what can I be grateful for today? No matter what, something may be due tomorrow.
Yeah.
Somebody may need me tomorrow, but today, did
Mm-hmm.
I eat? Yeah. Yeah, I ate. Even if I ate noodles, I had them.
Yeah.
Um, did I go to the bathroom and flush the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's water. Did I turn the light
Mm-hmm.
on in the house? Yeah. Yeah,
That,
I did.
yeah.
Okay. Did I get to work? Even if I had to catch Uber, the city transportation, or a car, like however, did I
Yeah.
get there? Yeah. So finding the things to be grateful for in the now
Mm.
creates more things to be grateful for, because then the nervous system says, oh, I like this feeling of gratitude.
Yes.
So let me give you more things to be grateful for. So then the next day, not only did you got the ride, but you met a cool person on the ride.
Yes.
And then the next day you realize not only did I meet the cool person, I said something that inspired them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel good about myself now. So finding the things to be grateful for in the now will create more opportunities for you to be grateful.
That's huge.
Hmm.
Huge.
Yeah.
So, tell everyone about your retreats, what you offer, how they can connect with you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The ascensionportal.org is my website. So
Mm-hmm.
www.theascensionportal.org. And you can go there. I have my counseling, my coaching sessions on there. I
Mm-hmm.
will update retreats. Um, I can say a little bit, but I can't say a lot. But it's
Mm-hmm.
possible that I'm going to be on a 6 week hiatus doing a TV show. So that's all I know.
Hmm.
Um, so
I can't wait to
some
hear
days,
more when you
yes, I
can.
can't say anything
Mm-hmm.
yet, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's in my mind. It's set in stone.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
there's like one more. I'm waiting on the last confirmation.
Yes.
So I may be out for
Mm-hmm.
about 6 weeks. However, as soon as that is solidified, I'm gonna post the date of the next retreat. So
Okay.
that's coming. And then and also just information period about the Oracle Ascension Center, how we're posting, what we're doing, what our plan is. So yeah, the website is www.theascensionportal.org. And so
That's
yeah.
perfect. If there was one last thing that you would leave listeners or one word of encouragement, what would that be?
The ascension to your desired reality is going within and figuring out who you truly are.
Mm,
And you are the most powerful being on this planet. You are the main character of your story.
mm.
You are the author of this story. And you can own that power. And if you could write it one way, you can rewrite it. You can rewrite it. You could add as many plot twists as you like. But you are the main character and you get to
Mhm.
write this story. And the way to figure that out is going within and finding out how you feel as the most powerful being, what you look like as the most powerful being, the things you think as the most powerful
Yes.
being in your story. That's what's going to take you to the ultimate desired reality.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, this conversation again has been incredible and it has been an honor, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.
That's right. I love you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, yes. And I will be tuning in Sunday, and if I'm not I should be available, but if not, I will definitely catch up on it Sunday evening or Monday, and I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you. Thank you. I will see you then.
Sounds great. Thank you, ma'am. What a powerful conversation. I think one of the biggest takeaways from this conversation is that not every quiet season means you're lost. Sometimes you're not meant to have the answers yet. You're meant to hold space for yourself right where you are. The pressure to rush clarity often pulls us out of the very process that's going to shape the version of you that you want to become. So if you're in that season where things feel unclear, slow, eternal, just know that you're not alone on this journey and you're exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you so much to Rashidah for sharing her wisdom with us. See you next time.